Look, my hair is all stupid. No, it's not. It's just a weird angle. Look weird. Yeah, I just got back from hanging out with my buddy. Want to give a shout out to him for hooking me up because I got all these ramens and all these groceries. And you know what? We got high class plastic bags up in here from Publix because he just took me down to the Publix. We just got some groceries. He filled up his cart for me. Even threw me a few bucks on top of that, which was really a blessing. Yeah, I don't particularly like using that vernacular, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's fucking awesome, and yeah, I'm just kind of coming down from that right now. I mean, that literally just happened. I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait to make a video about something. You know, I'm trying to lock this one really quick. It's not locking. Shit. I'll get that later. But yeah, I'm sitting here on a Sunday, getting ready for the week, getting ready for another week, and you know, like I got a paycheck coming through on Wednesday. Fortunately, I have an extension from this hotel because I'm supposed to pay my rent on Mondays, but they give me an extension to pay it on Wednesday whenever I get paid. And so I got my rent taken care of, but I was like, shit, dude, I'm like straight up out of food. I got nothing to eat. I usually just survive off of like the setups I make with ramen and my you know, like vegetables and stuff and peanut butter sandwiches. But I don't even have that, and I got no money for food. So this is tight because now I got food to get me through till next Wednesday, which is when my money will stop being funny. And I got some money to pay my boss back because I borrowed $40 from him, so I can pay him back tomorrow. I got a little bit of money to put in my pocket, put towards like my shoes, if I, you know, because I want to get a pair of shoes. Because the shoes I've been wearing are like, they're holy, you know what I'm saying, and not in a biblical fashion. They're falling apart. Yeah, my homeboy just hooked me up, took me to Publix. That was a lot of fun. You know, I don't know. I guess I've been through some things where like you go shopping at a grocery store, and it's like going to a fucking theme park. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was awesome, and I really appreciate being able to reconnect with somebody like that. That's done a lot for me just now, just like my mental well-being and stuff. It's kind of brought me on my shell a little bit. I've also I've tried to like I'm gonna see about maybe like making some new connections with people, because there's like there's a couple of venues in town that are non-alcoholic, which is what I'm gearing myself towards, and I'm gonna go see about making some new connections in these places to sort of like get out of my headspace and maybe you know, get some outside influences. I feel like I do pretty good by myself, but there's only so far that I can take things on my own. And then I run into situations like I did last week, where I went and panicked and bought a fucking bus ticket to California because I was going to live my life as a fugitive instead of doing things the right way and not screwing myself over long ways, which I almost did. I feel like if I had somebody to turn to in those moments, somebody outside of myself that had like the mindset and the experience and shit like that, I wouldn't be in this slight predicament that I'm in right now. It's just crazy to think that I almost fucked my life up long ways over a non-issue. So it turns out that I have a pre-existing warrant in another state, but the parameters of that warrant don't necessarily violate my current parole. And because as soon as I became aware of this outstanding warrant, I informed my parole officer. I'm in pretty good standing of not violating my parole at all on that issue. Furthermore, I've taken steps to secure a public defender to get my case thrown out in this other state, this out-of-state warrant, which is highly likely that it'll just be thrown out because there is no material witnesses, there's no evidence, and the victim cannot be found. So they don't really have a reason to pursue the warrant at all. So it'll most likely, it's been inactive since 2022. My current charges that I'm on probation for got filed in 2023. So this is not as bad as I thought it would be, you know. But I'm checking my shit every day because I'm scared that they're gonna suddenly reactivate the warrant, but that's probably not likely. And hopefully I'll be able to get a public defender just to, you know, mosey on down to the courthouse, ask a few questions, talk to a few people, and get this case thrown out. So I'll most likely be what comes to pass. But still, you know, I mean, like when I was looking at this information and feeling some kind of way, like I was like, damn, I'm gonna run. Like I gotta head for the hills. Like I cannot like do 15 years, because if I screw up, if I get full revocation on my current probation, I do 15 years at SCDC, which is not something that I would do. To be honest with you, I would literally kill myself instead of going through with something like that. Not trying to advocate for self-harm or suicide. I know that's not a very Western mentality, but 15 years in the slammer? Nah. I would rather find out whatever happens next. That would be more interesting to me. So yeah, you know, I mean, like the way that my mind works, the way that I am, I'm kind of on the edge as far as life and death is concerned. Not like super bad. You know, there are people who dwell on the edge a lot worse than I do. You know, I have a new understanding and appreciation for that. But I feel fortunate that, and I feel optimistic that I'll be able to, you know, not have to take those kind of measures, and I'll be able to make it through this dark epoch that I found myself in, and hopefully come out into the light. Because I signed up to do volunteer work. They call it volunteer work at the upcoming Pride Festival in our town, in the city. So I kind of want to make something out of this. Like, you know, like I'm skeptical and skittical about the rainbow and the alphabet soup people. And, you know, I've got my opinions. I'm not very agenda oriented or political minded. But I know that my sexuality is not cookie cutter, you know, like, you know, I'm very much interested in females, but I'm not gonna lie, I mean, like, you know, dicks are awesome. You know, so, I mean, like, I'd rather not be, like, I don't know, like, fascist or closeted or whatever, or even just sitting on the bench for my whole fucking life, even though I've had menage a trois experiences. I mean, it's not something that I really live by. And so I'm kind of like, all right, so they're having this Pride event. I'm kind of different, you know, like I've never really participated in anything specifically LGBT, but might as well give this a try and see how it feels for me. If it's like disingenuous or if it's authentic or whatever, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll see. And maybe make some networks, maybe make some friends or whatever while I'm doing that, you know. Hopefully be able to like step into like a more authentic version of myself or some shit, instead of having things be like fetishized and shit like that. There's this bird just sitting here on the wall looking at me. Like, it's got a worm in its mouth and everything. It's a female. You can tell they're females because their plumage is, you know, not as bright as the males, but it is just straight up chilling. looking at me. It's weird. I'm not going to show you. Fuck you. Some things are just for me. So yeah, I'm looking down the line on another work week. Fortunately, I still have my job. My boss did not fire me for walking out on last Thursday. He tried to stop me from walking out too. He was like, is that really the choice you want to make? And I was like, I don't have a choice. Because at that moment, I felt like I didn't. I straight up was like, I have to leave. Like, I have to go run. I have to live life on the lam. And tell you, man, that's not easy shit. It's not easy shit to do. I spent 2 nights living houseless, living unhoused. And it is not easy because people like, when you start living homeless, you realize that the world is full of cops and people who talk to the cops. And they will fucking Karens, man. Those types of people. Like, it's usually not like the sort of people you would think. It's not like, it's not like bad people or anything. It's like the ordinary people. It's like the middle ground, middle of the road type people, middle-aged people that will fucking rat on you and like call the police to your area if they see you, like if they catch you like behind a gas station or in a little net, like a little like spot of the woods or something. They'll fucking see you from distance and they'll fucking call the police on you, and then the police will come through searching around. So then you have to play cat and mouse, It's like being constantly hunted. It's fucking weird. And like, of course, sleeping on the ground sucks, and sleeping outside sucks. If you don't have a tent, I mean, like, you're exposed to the elements, like I was. And like, like, being exhausted will help you sleep, but then you get woken up by like the wind, because like it's just like, it feels like a person constantly poking you, like poking and prodding at you and like pinching you and shit. So there's like no like controlling that. It kind of sucks. And then you always have to look out for like where you're going to sleep next, because you don't want to sleep in the same spot too many times, because you don't want people to notice your pattern. It's hectic. It's hectic on the mind. So I got this room still. Very fortunate for that. Very fortunate to still have my job. I'm in good standing with my probation, contact with my PO. I'm all caught up on my fines and everything up until September. I got my bitch stick down here. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, my e-scooter. I think I'm gonna call her Evelyn, but bitch stick is probably that's probably what's gonna stick. I got a name for all my modes of transportation. My mountain bike is called Matilda. She's still in the hurt locker right now. As you can see, that's the front tire. The back tire has been slashed, and all the lights have been stolen off of my frame, because I had like headlights and taillights. That's all been stolen, but it's fine. They're not going to steal the bike itself, because it's ghost pedaling like a motherfucker. Because I need to clean the free hub. I need like a new free hub. I don't know, I got things to work through, but I've got things to look forward to also. I'm just kind of just been through a lot this past week, and I'm fortunate to still be standing on my feet. Just barely, and not without some help from my friends, like that Beatles song. So yeah, I get by with a little help from my friends. That's how it goes. Anyways, keep your social distance.